Okay, so after creating the project, we've got and cleaning it up, we've got the following files, and I'm going to explain a few of them. The first folder is the manifests. This is the Android manifests file that contains the permissions and other details about what rights the application has. So for example, if you would like your application to connect to the network or use the internet, or would like to search in the contacts of the mobile application, then you would need permission, and to put that permission, there's going to be a way, and that's going to be explained to you in the future course. The next folder is the Java folder that contains all your code base, all the Java files. That's the programming language that's used by Android applications, and they're going to be in your main namespace. That's what you mentioned when you were actually defining or creating the application. The main activity is the only activity that's left behind, and that's the one that's going to open up. I'm going to explain to you activities in a separate lecture. Then you've got the resource folder. So all your views, all your images, and any string constants and everything is going to be in your resource folder. The images go in the drawable folder and the map folder, one of the two. This I think has got large size images, and this is basically vector graphs. Then you've got the layout folder that contains your layout views. They're basically XML files, and as I've defined previously what they are, I've just created a simple linear layout and put in a text view in there. There are two ways to actually define a string. You could actually in the text, you could actually type it out and write what you want to show in your text, or you could actually select a predefined string constant. So all your string constants and your colors and styles are going to be in the values folder. So these string constants are very important because for multilingual applications which you want translations based on the user's selection and his language, they're very important. So you could have the same keys but different translations, and as a result you wouldn't have to actually make many applications. The application itself is going to automatically use the correct resource file based on the selection of the user. That's the standard, so try to avoid as much as possible. Do not do this, this is a text. That's not something standard in Android development or in any place. I mean, if you have got string constants, then they should be defined in a constant file, and for Android it's basically in the values/strings, and you can just create as many strings as you want in this format, in this XML format. So I could create another string like this, and give it another name, let's say login underscore label, and you could write in welcome to login, and then I could use it on the login view and show it there. So that's the thing. These are the most important folders. I mean, there are certain folders that are not in this scope at this moment. These are two files that you're going to be using, but I'm not going to go into detail in this. When we talk about Gradle, which is basically the build service of the Android system, I'm going to talk much about them at that time. There's a play button and there's a debug button right on top, which you're going to be using a lot, and this basically allows you to run your application and see what you've built up till then. It also helps you troubleshoot. So if you've got to debug a bug or some issue that has come up in your application, then you'll probably use this button. When you press this button, what happens, it brings up this screen, and you've got some virtual devices. Virtual devices are actually emulators, and I'm going to do emulators later on because they're not so important. I guess anybody who's interested in doing Android development should have an Android phone already. So if you've got an Android phone and you connected it with your PC or the laptop, then you probably will see it in the connected devices. If however you do not see the device here, then most probably you haven't activated your developer option in the mobile itself, and that's pretty simple to do. You just need to go into the settings, and in the settings you're going to get the option of I think you get the about device, and I think you have to click let me just get the correct information from Google. If you feel confused about anything, I mean, Google's the best source, so you can always search, and I'm going to search how to become a developer. So that's pretty much it. You can see what it's saying. It says go to about phone, tap it, scroll down the bottom, find the build number, and tap it 7 times. Once you do that, you're going to get a developer's option section in your settings, and you could use that to enable developer options. Again, once you're going to become a developer, which means your developer option is active, the device will be visible here, and you can just click OK, and the system is going to really deploy your application. If the build is successful, what will happen is that it's going to directly install the APK, and all you should see is a view just like what we saw in the design layout, which is just a simple text written on top. And that's what I see on my mobile. Obviously I can't show you what it is. So that's pretty much it for our introduction for Android development, and if you got any questions or comments, you can pass it on in the comment section, and I'll be happy to answer them. That's all for now, and see you again. Bye.